Hey everybody, how's it going today? I hope y'all are having a great day today. As the title suggests, we are doing an honest review. I now have quite a few hours on Skull and Bones. I think I'm almost to about 150 hours. And today I am just I'm going to be giving my honest review about it because I I honestly really enjoy the game. There are, every game's going to have its issues. For instance, the reason I'm actually making this video um, is because now that I've had enough time to play the game, I've gotten to the technical end point, end game point with the story missions and everything. And so, I'm not left with a whole lot to do besides collecting our pieces of 8. And that's actually what we're going to be seeing here on this video. This is a pre-recorded video, actually. I didn't even think. But as you see, we have, almost the entire Red Isle area. Now, this was before, this video was taken a while ago. I now actually also have just about the entire coast of Africa as well. And now that I've had that for probably about a week now, I'd say, I'm really feeling the grind on the pieces of 8. I've seen a lot of people say that, Skull and Bones is really just kind of feeling like a second job, and they're not wrong. I had gotten on the other day with the intent of, doing some random stuff. And, I always hop on to try and collect some of my gold first. But now with the coast of Africa and the Red Isle, it's taking me so long. Like, I had gotten on to collect my pieces of 8, and by the time I got done collecting all of my pieces of 8, granted, I had quite a few by the end of it, which I was super glad about, but by the time I got done collecting it, I was ready for a little break. I had some things to do around the house that day, and by the end of it, I just kind of wanted to relax. And so I've really been feeling that grind. That, oh man, this is starting to feel like a second job. Like, even yesterday, I wanted to get on before I actually went to my real job, and I got on for maybe about an hour, and it was enough time to collect the coast of Africa pieces of 8, and then I got off because I by the end of it, I was just dang tired of it. And on top of that, besides pieces of 8, I'm finding it hard to find little other things to do. Like, yes, there's the CBs, there's just, collecting resources and everything like that I could do. But I am finding myself a little bored sometimes when I'm playing. And we're actually going to talk on that too, because thankfully, the dev team just did a live stream. Now, in this live stream, we got quite a few updates about some of the things that they are doing great. They're paying attention to Discord. They're paying attention to Reddit. They're seeing people's problems and issues with the game, and so they actually touch up on that. And so I'm gonna run through some of the things that they touched on. It's just a quick, brief little summary. But yeah, my only real issue with this game is the fact that I get on and I collect my pieces of 8 and then I get off. That is my only issue with this. Otherwise, I do pretty well about keeping myself entertained. Like I said, there are some times where I find myself a little bored, but it doesn't take me too long to get myself into something else, because I'll go and grab a job, or I'll go and grab some bounties. Like I do a pretty decent job at keeping myself entertained when I'm not collecting pieces of 8. But anyways, let's get into the live stream information that we got from the dev team. So, upon speaking of pieces of 8, come season 2, there are going to be some changes to pieces of 8, and they are good. It's quality of life updates, baby. Oh man, I'm excited for when this does happen, for when season 2 does come, because they're saying in season 2, when it comes to pieces of 8, season 2 is when they're going to do their first implementing of the fleet management that they were talking about the last time that they did their live stream. And their live stream, by the way, is called The Deck. They do post on Twitter, and they do post around when they are getting ready to do the live stream. I actually missed it and had to watch somebody else's recap, and I was upset by it. But anyways, so pieces of 8, we are actually going to be able to send our ships to send our ships to collect our pieces of 8 for us. So we will no longer have to deal with, what you're seeing here. I am just sailing around collecting pieces of 8, and I've timed it, you guys, for just the Red Isle, and this is also in the Brigantine. Granted, I'm not using water just because I forget to keep water on me all the time. It takes roughly about 45 minutes just for all of the Red Isle, and that's if you're not dealing with a whole lot of headwind, if you're not dealing with a whole lot of ship battles in between. That they are hoping to get rid of that and allow us to set our other ships. So like if we have, a Sambuc, or the Padawakong, or the Snow, or whatever, the other ships that we have that we've built, we can set those to go and collect our pieces of 8. And I am so happy about that. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. We're also going to be able to upgrade ships at some point. I didn't really get exactly what they meant by that. But it'll be every ship besides the Dow. The Dow will be the only ship that you won't be able to upgrade, which what upgrade means, really not too sure. They did say that smaller ships are going to be more on par with medium ships. So that means that they're going to be doing some buffing and debuffing of the ships, which will make combat a little bit more enjoyable, because you won't have to go in and take, for instance, like I think I'm in the Brigantine right now. I won't always have to take that if I want to take down ships. Again, we do know that large ships are coming. They did not really say anything about when those are coming, just that they are going to be coming. We're also going to be getting a over-the-shoulder camera at some point as well. And from what I understand if you remember when you were playing Black Flag and you were sailing, it's going to be like that. It's going to be that over-the-shoulder kind of view when, I guess, I don't know. That's the way that I understood it anyways. Some other things are the possible return of in-game chat. Now that may be coming next week, but that's not for certain, because we do know that we are getting another update, and this one's supposed to be another big update, guys. So be sure to watch for the patch notes, because the patch notes will be out before the actual update happens. So be sure to be looking on those patch notes. But yeah, it's possible in-game chat will be returning. They did say that the pop-up notifications are going to be worked on. I don't know if you guys have I'm sure you guys have noticed, you know, sometimes when you're doing things and the notification pops up, it's right in your way and you can't see. Like for instance, when I'm collecting pieces of 8, sometimes, you know, a cutthroat cargo pops up and I can't tell if I'm on the right thing to collect the pieces of 8. And so I believe that they're going to be trying to change how the pop-up notifications work. Let's see. I wrote a whole list of notes, and I'm actually trying to run through it before the end of this video because it's taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. Let's see. The wind changed. Now, I personally don't have an issue with the wind. It hasn't bothered me a whole lot, but I do know some people have issues with the way that the wind works in game. And at some point, they are going to be changing how the wind works. Now, all they really said was that it's going to be getting buffed and debuffed. They didn't really give a whole lot of description on how exactly they plan on changing it, because I assume that they're still working on how they're going to be changing it. Another update that we got was the clan guilds. Those are coming, but again, there is no date for when they're actually coming. Now, that's something I'm super excited for, and it's one reason why I made a Discord for Skull and Bones. And unfortunately, I'm not a very social person. I have a hard time actually like meeting new people, and it's one reason why I do this, is because when I live stream, it gives me a chance to try and talk with new people if they are willing to engage with me. But anyways, I am excited for the clan guilds. Unfortunately, though, there is no date. I think this next one is about ask for help, and I can't remember if they said if it was coming with season 2 or if it's going to be coming with the next update, but apparently ask for help is going to be getting some changes. I don't know exactly what those changes are going to be. Like I said, just be on the lookout for patch notes, because those are going to be the most in-depth thing that's going to tell you how exactly those are going to change. Now, they did touch up a little bit on the Season 2 leaderboards with the whole Pieces of 8, because as you guys know, the community is able to kind of just pass off their Pieces of 8 to help people get up to the Diamond tier, so that way they get some cosmetics. Now, personally, that doesn't affect me. I'm willing to work for my stuff, and if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it. But you know, some people are. But anyways, they are going to be doing some changes with the Season 2 leaderboards. Apparently, they are going to be different from Season 1. Let's see. They did also talk about the La Peste boss. The final La Peste boss for Season 1 is apparently supposed to be very difficult. So I would suggest getting ready to build a powerful ship for when Season 1 is coming to an end. Now this is something I'm not too excited about, because I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not a huge PvP fan. But they are going to be adding more PvP, and the way that they describe it is that there's going to be more PvP events, and apparently you will be able to engage in PvP anywhere. Now, what exactly that means scares me a little bit, because I like the way that the PvP works now. To a degree, there are some changes with the PvP events that I'm excited that they're going to be changing up. But yes, PvP will be apparently available everywhere. How exactly, like if you have to request a fight, for instance, which is what I'm hoping that they do, and not just, hey, I'm sailing through, oh, I want to be a dick, let's fuck this guy, let's fuck this guy up. Really hoping that's not the case. Now, speaking of the PvP, they are going to be changing cutthroats. You will no longer be able to fast travel, which I am very happy about. I think it is. I think it is just wrong, so wrong, that you can just fast travel to attack somebody that is doing a PvP event. I believe that, you know, that you should not be able to fast travel. If you want to join in on a PvP event, you should have to, you know, when you join in, no fast travel. You should have to make your way to that player in order to get them. If you are not close enough to that player, then you're SOL. Anyways, upon the no cutthroat, well, with cutthroat, the no fast travel, when you join a fast travel, anyone who enters that cutthroat, anyone who starts that cutthroat, you will be starting from the same position, and you will have to travel from that position to the end point. So I am very happy about that, and I've really got to start speeding this up a little bit more, so I'm probably going to start talking a little faster. Excuse me. Come season 2, or to be determined, I will say, because I don't remember if they said season 2, you will actually be able to sell items from your warehouse to NPCs and vendors, meaning you will no longer have to take that item out of your warehouse, put it in your inventory, and ship it off. They will also, and this is something I'm very happy about, when you collect silver chests, when you have an abundance of them, say you have like 10 or 30, like I did at one point, instead of opening them individually, you will now be able to open them as an option for all together. They are also looking into a possible mini game for fishing, because, you know, it sucks to have to gather fish from ships. So they are looking into that. They don't know if that's actually going to be able to happen, if they'll actually be able to implement it, but they are at least letting the community know that they are looking into the possibility of it. They are also going to be looking into improving the way that our ship looks and improving our cosmetics. That is another thing I'm very hopeful about, because there are some things, and I actually learned this recently because of the live stream. So they don't want to change too much of, like, your armor, for instance. They don't want to touch armor a whole lot, because if you, for instance, the Black Prince has like a red glow underneath. Now that is actually for a reason. It is so that way you can see what armor somebody is using, and you can adapt your ship to that armor when you see them. And the same thing goes for the new armor that came with Lepes. Like, it's got that green glow underneath. It is because they want you to be able to adjust your ship, and I didn't know that. I think that's amazing. And so, to a point, they don't want to touch the armors in the way that they look, because it is an actual functionality for you, which is amazing. I love that. Another question that was asked during the live stream was, what about sea monsters? Now, they did say that, you know, they do plan on adding more sea monsters, and I'm so excited for that, because, you know, right now we just have the Tylosaur and the Mega Tylosaur is what I call it. And people are wondering, oh, are we ever gonna get a Kraken? And while that would be great, they did not touch on that. They did not say anything about a Kraken, but they did say that there is more sea monsters coming. Let's see. We are almost here at the end of our notes. It looks like they plan on also increasing the server size. Now, I haven't been too sure of what the limit of the server size actually is. Because I think the most I've seen is like 17 or 18, Apparently server size is 20. I personally did not know that, but they are looking into possibly increasing the server size, which I think would be great. It is one thing I've noticed is while there are, at least 17 people in most servers, you don't see a whole lot of people depending on what you're doing. The next and final thing, or final few things we'll say, is um, a lot of people have noticed that the top of the map is foggy, and that some of the trade routes go off the map. Now they did say that there is an expansion of the map coming, but it is still to be determined when. They are looking. The reason that they don't have anything, any idea on when exactly it's going to be coming in is because they are still working on lore. They plan on implementing more of a story to push us to the north and to push us to those covered regions where it looks like the map expands. So they're working, they've obviously got to work on the story, the lore, and the NPCs to that map expansion. So we don't have a definitive date exactly when it's coming, but they did say that it will be coming at some point. They also want to add in more sea shanties. They did say, to go onto their Discord and go onto Reddit if they have, if you have suggestions for more sea shanties, because I've noticed it. There's few sea shanties, and me personally, I prefer the way that the sea shanties sound from Black Flag rather than Skull and Bones. So I actually listen to a lot of Spotify, and I listen to my own playlist of sea shanties that I've compiled. And then the last thing is that they are going to be looking in and possibly implementing a way for you to change your first mate, which I guess is something a lot of people have also been requesting. I don't really care. I don't sit in the first person view a lot. The view that you see me in now is the view that I'm typically in unless I'm in combat. And so that I wasn't too worried about, but for the people that, have requested it, I really hope that it happens. But anyways, guys, that is it for the notes. And that is pretty much it. I said my piece about the game. It is a fun game. There are times where, yes, I find myself a little bored. But regardless, it is a very fun game. It does keep me entertained. I have been slacking on my pieces of 8 because I do want to just enjoy the game. And so that's something I'm going to recommend to everybody is just don't grind so hard on it. Like, granted, yeah, I know you guys want to get to leaderboards, but with the way that the community is right now, hop on Discord, hop on Reddit. There are people out there that are willing to help you get the gold that you need to get to the top of the leaderboards if you're that obsessed with getting the cosmetics for it, But regardless, the game's fun. I've been enjoying it. There's been times where I just get on just to attack these shits, But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a good one. Again, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out the next video whenever it may come. And also, don't forget, I do also have a Facebook page that I have also been trying to promote, and I'm working on getting it to where I can just stream on Facebook. But anyways, you all have a good one, and we will see you next time.